Praise Vivek!
The Outlander returns. I understand there was trouble at the construction site, but you were able to save a few of the workers. Lord Vivek always draws the straightest arrow from the quiver. Praise the tribunal. Did you bring the blood?
Keeping myself busy here.
Praise Vivek!
The Outlander returns. I understand there was... Stand over there. In Canon Level's absence, you will form the third corner of our ritual triangle. When you're ready, place the blessing stone, and we'll begin the ritual. Hear the words of the warrior poet, and reveal the source of Lord Vivek's distress. An Ashlander? A clockwork mage? A Daedric cultist? Something interfered with the ritual, my lord. But we may have learned something. Excuse me while I compare the results to our previous research.
Between the cryptic warnings of the ancestor spirit and the unexpected result of the divination ritual, I fear there may be more astir than I imagined. We solved the greatest mysteries by accident, I suspect. I should write that down. We learn from every action we take. Failure or success, each result teaches us something, at least in the larger sense. To be more specific, no, not as much as I hoped. Images that suggest avenues to investigate, riddles to solve. Let me tell you a secret, Outlander. It concerns a living god and energy that fades like daylight as dusk spreads across the land. Listen well, and speak not a word. My divine energy, it drains away. Whether from illness or foul malady, I know not. You must travel the land and seek answers on my behalf. But first, gratitude before service, as I have written. So thank you. The ritual confirmed my worst fears. Divine energy flows out of me for no reason that I can discern. I felt the power imbued within my blessing stone get wrenched away as soon as you added it to the ritual. I couldn't stop it. To quote my own words as the warrior poet, no lock exists that the determined thief cannot open. Follow the trail of my missing energy, and try to discover the identity of the enemy Lavul's ancestor warned us about. Something drains my energy. Find Archcanon Tarvis in his office, and ask if he gleaned anything useful from the ritual. If not, I know his earlier research indicated new avenues to investigate. Go where he tells you, and learn what you can. My divine energy diminishes with every passing moment, but the ritual confirmed my affliction is not natural. I regret that I could not reveal the full nature of these dire circumstances until your trustworthiness had been demonstrated. Yes, while Archcanon Tarvis has always been cautious about ideas and ideologies that didn't originate within the Tribunal, and recently, that prudence has grown 1,000-fold. He's a faithful servant, however, despite his narrow-mindedness. At first, I barely noticed the loss of energy, but as I continue to grow weaker, the more it feels like an attack against my person. Besides, the ancestor spirit confirmed that an ancient enemy was to blame. We just need to determine who before... Let us not dwell on disasters to come when we have problems enough to deal with in the here and now. Consult with Archcanon Tarvis and discover the source of this attack. Then we can put an end to it and not worry about what might have been. They always chide me about my flagrant displays of divinity, but so far, I am the only one of the living gods whose power is fading. Almalexia hoards her energy and has barricaded her temple against attack. As for Sothasil, my brother travels. We have not heard from him for quite some time, but I sense that he remains safe and in possession of his full power. Funny. He always wanted to discover the limits of our divinity. Perhaps I will solve that mystery for him.
I performed that ritual countless times, and it never exploded in my face before. If I discover that you sabotaged the divination... No. I shouldn't take my failure out on you. It's not your fault that things are difficult. How do you know about... Lord Vivek told you? Of course he did. It's his prerogative, I suppose. You must swear to keep this secret, though. There would be panic in the streets if the people believed one of the tribunal was incapacitated. It's true. I'm much better at scholarly pursuits than fieldwork, and the ritual wasn't a total failure. It confirmed 3 locations from my earlier studies: Bolmora, Aldrin, and Berelzar's tower. I need you to investigate each of these sites. I researched what I could using the resources available here in Vivek City. To learn more, I need an agent to personally assess each location. Lord Vivek thinks you're the best one for that job. I hope he's right. I believe the mage seen in the ritual is Berelzar, who works out of an ancient Velothi tower. His experiments radiate energy similar to Vivek's affliction, but they're not a perfect match. Find out what he knows about the transfer of divine energy. House Redoran controls the town and nearby mines. House Halalu also has interests in the region. Rumors of a cult in the area concern me the most. I believe we saw a cultist during the ritual. Make discreet inquiries and see what you can learn. I have no idea. That's why we're sending you. I suggest you start at the inn. Secrets get spilled along with the drinks in such places. The miners may know something as well. I've heard that House Redoran has issued some kind of proclamation. Savage Ashlanders, like the one seen in the vision, use the area as a tribal meeting ground. These nomadic heretics deny the divinity of the tribunal and have no love for Vivek. But how they could be involved eludes me. See what you can uncover. I believe the mage seen in the ritual is Barrelzar, who works on... I traced tendrils of Vivek's energy to these locations, and the ritual confirmed the connection before it went awry. Just don't discuss Lord Vivek's condition with anyone. We don't want to start a panic. If anything changes here, I'll contact you.
one frustration after another. It's about bloody time you buoyant armchairs showed up. I sent a request for assistance almost an hour ago and... Oh, hello. You don't look like a bouncing armiger to me. Still, my manservant is missing and I could use the help. First, my assistants from the Mages Guild disappeared without so much as a by your leave. Then, my useless manservant Stibbins vanished. Said he was going to solve the mystery, but now he's disappeared as well. And it's almost tea time. Oof, intolerable. We were exploring the Vvardenfell ruins when everyone left me. I expect such behavior from the hired help, but Stibbins? He's usually more dependable than that. Locate the mages and Stibbins, then use this signal wand so I can join you. I blame the Investigator Vale books I lent to Stibbins. He was never this adventurous before he became enchanted with her admittedly thrilling stories. But what are you still doing here? I thought you were going to find Stibbins and the mages. That's what we're trying to determine. Vvardenfell was once a great city built atop an ancient center of Sheogorath worship. Now only the Daedric ruins remain. Once we find the treasure, I'll be more famous than that blowhard Narcissus Dren. No one of note, just a pretentious, arrogant author and adventurer with an overinflated sense of self-importance. He's an irritating dark elf who loves to hear himself talk. And the topic of conversation? The greatness of Narcissus Dren. The Swit. Treasure, relic. I'm sure there's something important hidden in the ruins. According to local rumors, people disappear around Vvardenfell all the time. That's what sparked my interest. Mysterious happenings often extend my fame and fortune. I suppose there could be a connection. On the other hand, never attribute to ancient curses what can be explained by greed and laziness, I always say. They were just your typical apprentices. Young, eager, hoping to make a name for themselves by working alongside a famed treasure hunter. The 6 of them readily broke off promptly at sunset yesterday and abandoned the camp. They abandoned me! They already had my gold, so I stayed to finish the work. Not the studious and well-mannered apprentices I expect from the Mages Guild. Besides, if truth be told, they were incompetent. I'm surprised they remained with us as long as they did. My manservant Stibbins. He's lazy, drinks too much, and requires detailed instructions to accomplish the simplest of tasks. But his fish stew is delicious, I'll grant him that. I regret letting him read my collection of Investigator Vale mysteries. Have you read them? She's a brilliant detective. I fear Stibbins got the wrong idea and thinks he can find the missing mages just like Investigator Vale. When you locate him, I shall express my disapproval for his reckless disregard of his duties.
I don't want to go back. No, I can't go back. You can't make me go back! The overbearing Breton? She's working with the spiders, isn't she? She knew! She knew the spiders would take my friends. She knew they would make them dance. I had to run, you see. I had to. I don't want to dance. I don't know how! Spiders, yes! Please, you have to rescue them! The spiders make them dance, but nobody can dance forever! I go back, but I can't. I don't dance, you understand? I won't dance! Why do the spiders want us to dance anyway? It makes no sense! Stibbins? He's in league with the spiders. Why else don't they force him to dance? He went to join his spider masters, but he dropped his spice pouch just over there. Oh no. Do you think it's full of spiders? What should I do? What should I do?
I dare say. Help! Help! Ursula, stand up. That creature was positively terrifying. But at least I found one of my lady's hirelings. That horrific spider! I was using several of the inquisitive techniques employed by Investigator Vale in her fabulous stories when the largest, most terrifying spider I ever laid eyes upon sprang at me with evil intent. Even spooked the mage. It is, though she's not making much sense. Perhaps you could talk to her? Lady Laurent believed the mages absconded with her hard-earned gold. So I followed them to these ruins, and, well, I encountered the spider, and then everything went dark. No. This is embarrassing. It started talking to me. Then I swooned and passed out. Spiders have that effect on me. Oh, I must return to Lady Laurent. It's well past her tea time, and she's going to be extremely displeased with me.
No! I won't listen! I won't listen! Leave me alone! The spiders! Those damned spiders! They talk to me! They want me to dance! I mustn't dance with them! That would be bad. Why do you think? No, don't think! That's when they get you. They crawl into your mind. Don't let them! No! I must go now. The spiders. They call to me. I will join the dance.
You found Stibbins. Probably just got turned around in the ruins again. So tell me, what did you discover my manservant doing when you happened upon him? Did he provide an explanation as to why I'm still waiting for my afternoon tea? A talking spider? Ridiculous! Still, Stibbins has always been dreadfully afraid of the eight-legged pests. No excuse for shirking his responsibilities, though. And the mages? Did you stumble upon them while you tracked down my manservant? Why not? Don't tell me you're afraid of a few spiders in a dusty old ruin. Interesting. Spiders and a barrier. Some sort of spider magic? Regardless, such occurrences suggest there's more to these ruins than I presumed. A great treasure, perhaps? But why could the mage pass? She heard talking spiders? Incredible. I can brew a tea to keep Stibbins from fainting. Then he can listen to the spiders and lead us through the barrier. But we need to test its potency. Bring me a small spider from the ruins and meet us at my camp.
I beg milady's pardon. I really thought I could solve the case of the missing mages.
Ugh, whatever gave you that idea? You can barely manage not to lose my collection of combs and brushes every time you pack them.
But, Investigator Vale... I mean, would milady like her tea now?
And some of those sweet biscuits I like. Let's return to camp so we can start cooking. That's one of the spiders? You don't expect me to touch it, do you? I wonder why it hasn't controlled us. Too far from the ruins? Maybe it targets specific individuals? Well, release the spider and let's see if the tea keeps Stibbins from fainting.
Lady Laurent's tea was actually quite delicious, but the thought of listening to that spider and walking into a mysterious ruin just scares the pudding out of me. Still, if that's what Milady thinks is best. A spider! I'm still conscious?
My tea worked! Head for the ruins and find the spider that talked to you, Stibbins.
As you command, milady. Another spider! It's talking to me.
Follow my manservant.
Aha! You brought friends!
Well, what do we have here? This is intriguing. Someone set up a little workshop in these ruins. Alchemy from the looks of it, though I see a few components related to Daedric magic. Dead spiders, vials, various alchemical components. This must be how these mind spiders were created. They certainly don't. The notes in this journal, they refer to different kinds of spiders. Mind spiders, we already know about them. It also lists pack spiders, light spiders, and exploding spiders. How exciting! Someone is making spiders of nefarious purpose. The journal indicates that victims controlled by the mind spiders are needed for some sort of Daedric ritual. We need to find whoever is performing this ritual, and you need to make them stop. Then I can lead Stibbins and the others to safety. Follow me, brave assistant! I was right. It is some kind of Daedric ritual led by a hulking Nord priest. Brave assistant, do something!
Come to join our dance?
Oh, so ridiculous. Stop dancing this instant.
Dance! Dance! Shake your nethers for the mad god! No! The dance must not be interrupted!
Why do my feet hurt? Oh, never mind. Run!
Naturally, we will be reducing your compensation accordingly. much as a good run from a Daedric ruin really gets the blood pumping, I wish we had been more successful. We lost a few of the apprentices, and I never did locate any relics or treasures. I suppose. I still can't figure out how the priest was able to control their minds using spiders. It's a bafflement. Maybe one of these scrolls I seized on the way out will shed some light on this final mystery. No need to worry. Stibbins will examine the scrolls. He's ever more durable than he appears. I know a scribe who lives near White Ridge Barrow in Skyrim. His fascination with spiders borders on obsession, but I'm sure he'll appreciate the scrolls. I appreciate your help and your concern, but what possible harm could glancing at a few dusty scrolls cause? Here, for your trouble. I seem to have some extra gold after adjusting my staff's compensation. Oh, Stibbins, since you like to read... Stibbins, I have something I'd like you to read.
What's this? The newest Investigator Vale mystery?
Just read it out loud and tell me what it says.
Oh, read aloud. What fun.
Just enunciate, Stibbins, and speak loudly. Anytime now, Stibbins.
This isn't the newest Investigator Vale mystery.
Read the scroll, Stibbins!
Something. Mad god flows and ebbs. Something. Call forth the tangled webs. Oh no, that doesn't sound good.
Really, Stibbins? You do manage to complicate the simplest tasks. Stibbins has a way of dropping a fetcher fly into the honey. It's a gift, I suppose. Don't worry, I'll figure out how to extract him from those webs after I enjoy another cup of tea. Safe travels, my friend!
So I was right. You're a sword for hire. Excellent. You there, Outlander. I have a proposition for you. So I was right. You're a sword for hire. Excellent. My name is Marla Rethan of House Hlalu, and I have a proposition for you. I need someone to investigate what's going on in the Vvardenfell ebony mine. Piqued your interest, have I? Capital. My brother Benar and I share ownership of the mine, but I suspect he's hiding something from me. The little weasels even locked down the entrance. Only his personal guards are allowed inside. There are only 2 keys to the mine. Benar keeps one in our manor house. The other is carried by the mine's foreman, Nox. I want you to procure a key, either one, and then search the mine for any sign of mischief. Report back with your findings. Foreman Nox is somewhere in Balmora. Should be simple enough to pluck the key from his pockets. Or, if you prefer burglary, you could take my brother's key from the desk in his study. Our manor is just up the hill to the west of town. My dear brother prefers to keep our roles in the business separate. He runs the mine while I handle the finances. He doesn't interfere with my work, nor I his. That's the agreement. Oh, I have, but Benner tells me nothing. It's just secure more buyers and hire more workers. He gets dreadfully annoyed when I press him about my concerns. Like, why do we need so many miners? Even the townsfolk are starting to talk about that. You haven't heard the rumors? The cursed mine of Vvardenfell, they call it. They go in, but they don't come out. Now, just inane ghost stories, truth be told. But if the rumors persist, it could soil our reputation. Well, the mine has underperformed for years. I'd actually considered selling it. Until recently, that is. Ebony has been pouring out of the mine these past few months. And normally, I'd be overjoyed, but that's also when Benner became distant. Anything out of the ordinary. I don't suppose you'd know the difference between pure ebony and... Never mind, just give the mine a good look and keep an eye out for mischief. If you find anything odd, bring it back with you. I have many important clients that depend on the success of this mine. They'll hold me personally responsible if anything isn't correct. I'd like to avoid that kind of unpleasantness. Well, the key should be no trouble. My brother is away at the moment, and the house guards are not exactly the keenest. If you choose to pickpocket the foreman, well, just avoid the city watch, I suppose. That's the rub. The mine is well guarded. My brother insisted that I hire only the rowdiest and most ill-tempered mercenaries, so I brought on the Iron Hound Company. I can vouch for their pugnacity. I'd prefer to avoid bloodshed, of course, but I don't want to tip my brother off. If he is up to something, I'll need deniability to maintain the element of surprise. Besides, they're mostly criminals, drunks, and skooma addicts. Expendable, yes? Well, the mine has underperformed.
I can't remember her name. The pretty one.
bring a lot of gold. Who's got a wet?
You look like the traveling sort. In your excursions, have you perchance come upon a young dark elf named Vea? She went missing a couple of weeks ago and her father desperately seeks any information regarding her whereabouts. That's a shame. Her father, Eris, the house counselor here in Balmora, promises that anyone who can find his daughter and return her safely to his side will be well rewarded. You should speak to Counselor Eris. He's opened the kin house to interview potential recruits. Freelancers, as it were. If you're interested, go speak to the counselor. The longer Vea remains missing, the more distressed Counselor Eris becomes. Counselor Eris can be found at the Redarin kin house, and do hurry. He's ever so troubled by our failure to locate young Vea. If he finds that an outsider can succeed where the House Guard has failed, so be it. I have no issue with Counselor Eris seeking help. It's where he's decided to get that help that concerns me. House Redarin doesn't need outsiders to take care of its business. But who am I to question a House Counselor? How can anyone not know about House Redarin? Is this some sort of Outlander ruse? Well, in that case, Redarin is the grandest of the great Dunmer houses. We champion the virtues of duty and piety, and we have a proud military tradition. Our house comes first in all things. I don't understand why Eris seeks outside help. If I knew what happened to the Counselor's daughter, I wouldn't be talking to you now, would I? As far as we can tell, she left of her own accord. There wasn't any foul play involved that we're aware of. Beyond that, you'd have to ask the Counselor. Counselor Eris Relith oversees Redarin operations in Balmora and the surrounding countryside. He's very influential, very powerful. Usually, the Counselor doesn't allow his passions to get the better of him. But Vea is his daughter, after all.
Dark elves have unusual tastes, at least in my experience. I'll cater to those tastes, mind you. Just don't ask me to eat any slime or beetle curds.
Have we met? I don't remember. A toast to drinking!
Ah, another member of our ranks. It's times like these when I love the Fighters Guild. What's the Fighters Guild? What rock did you just crawl out from under? We're an elite fighting force with allegiance to no one but our fellow guild members. You look like you'd be good in battle. What do you say? Want to join the guild? Why, we fight, of course. It practically says it all right in our name. Seriously, someone has to deal with the Daedric menace and protect the common folk from the creatures of oblivion. That's our current mandate, and an important mandate it is. Reward? You mean besides the thrill of battle and the glory that accompanies it? Our members can learn special techniques, and as you advance in rank, the Guildmaster might call upon you to deal with important missions. Why, we fight, of course. It practically says it all right in our name.
You're always in the way, aren't you?
Mills, please, if you just listen.
Take care of yourself, Father.
I'm in need of a strong set of legs, Traveler, and you look like one capable of protecting yourself. Will you aid an old Mer in one last task? I have an obligation to my family. No, a duty of utmost importance. But I have grown too feeble to fulfill it. If you would take this memory stone to the few places of significance in my life, I will pay you well. It allows one to archive memories for future generations. I hope to do this for my children, who have grown estranged. Invoke my stone at the locations I've marked on your map, and the memories I wish to archive will manifest. I thank you for your aid. Fewer than ever are willing to aid their elders in these troubled times. Now I suppose the distance with my children is my fault, not theirs. Ah, yes. Mills. My son has never really forgiven me for never being here for them. He's a stranger in my own home. No. If anything, it's the other way around. Even Naria has grown accustomed to my absence. Naria less than Mills, but both my children grew up largely on their own. My duties to Master Drenham consumed a great deal of my time. Mills especially grew up with Naria and no one else. He despises me, and I don't blame him. You'll know soon enough, as will they, I hope. I failed them as a father, but they are safe, aren't they? I kept them safe. I cannot travel with you, but I have attuned this stone to my soul. When you use it at the locations I've marked, it will summon echoes of things that once occurred there. The stone absorbs these echoes, allowing others to view them.
I need a break.
Hold still. Stop weaving.
What is it?
Hello there.
Even in these troubled times, there are fair winds and fair trades. Wares of all kinds, here for your pleasure.
Finest quality merchandise.
Can I help you? Speak up. We won't live forever, you know.
House Talvani still keeps slaves?
How else do those lazy mages accomplish anything?
But what about the pact?
House Talvani
We should
stayed out of the
drink
government.
to something.
The wizards have no interest in taking
The fire's warm and the roof doesn't leak, so come on in and make yourself comfortable. How may I serve?
Yes? Is there something I can do for you, Outlander? My daughter has been gone too long, and the house guard can't seem to find a wall in the corner. But why should I trust you with this task? Tell me, Outlander, how can you succeed when my forces continue to fail time and time again? An interesting insight. Perhaps you can find my daughter. Vaya can handle herself, but the father worries, you understand? Anyway, I agree with your assessment. That's why I'm willing to bring in outside help on this. Vaya fled after a family disagreement. She's run away before, but I'm concerned that she might have something more permanent in mind this time, and more dangerous. Vaya knows how to evade the house guard, but as you said, she doesn't know you. Captain Briven oversees the house's attempt to locate my daughter. You should speak to him and see what his investigation has already turned up. He's probably patrolling the town square at this time of day. Briven's soldiers have been trying to get information out of Vaya's friends, but those young men and women are almost as good at avoiding the house guard as my daughter. That is a private matter. If your investigation proves fruitful, and such matters become relevant, we can discuss the particulars then, but not before. Like my daughter, my wife has a mind of her own. What the two of you discuss is your own affair. Just understand that I haven't employed you to solve my family's problems. I only need you to find my daughter. Vaya has always been fascinated by the Morag Tong. Even admired one of their agents when she was growing up. It's possible she sought refuge with this agent, or even decided to join the organization. Though I hope I'm wrong about that. The Morag Tong? They're an ancient guild of assassins sanctioned by the tribunal to carry out honorable writs of execution. Ostensibly, they're supposed to keep the houses from resorting to all-out war, but I still find the practice barbaric. Someone of no consequence, and not at all important to accomplishing your mission. Besides, you don't find Morag Tong agents, they find you. Just pray it's not because your name wound up on one of their writs. That is a death sentence.
Anything I can do for you?
The Councillor has his priorities all out of sorts. The real threat lies to the south. House Halalu encroaching on ancestral Redoran lands. Building settlements even. I saw this coming ever since we let Fort Firemoth go fallow. Let your guard down even a little and those Halalu scribs will snatch away all they can.
Not now, Outlander. If you need some sort of assistance, go find one of the House Guard. You must be one of the freelancers the Councillor employed to supplement the duties of the House Guard. Very well, I'll tell you what I know. Vaya ran away. Again. I hope you can succeed when my troops have failed. If anything happens to Vea... I've known the Relith family since I was a child. Vea is like a sister to me, and I'll do everything in my power to get her home safe and sound. Even trust an outlander. We think her friends may know where she is, but they keep eluding us. Perhaps, as long as you don't get too close. They've been running notes of late. I think it has something to do with Vea, but the runners keep evading my guards. Look for a group meeting on the other side of town, and see if you can follow the note. When you find Vea's friends, remember to keep your distance. You just want to spot the note carrier and follow him to whoever's receiving these messages. That's the key to locating Vea. If you can't do it, don't worry. The house can handle it. Vea's a born warrior. Hard-headed, stubborn, a real pain in the ass. She can fight like an angry netch, though. I keep trying to get her to join the militia, and she always turns me down. That's not my tale to tell. If Councillor Eris or his wife won't speak of the troubles his family has had to deal with in recent weeks, maybe you can ask Vea, if and when you find her. We started to notice groups of young dark elves gathering in out-of-the-way parts of the city. One of my guards saw them pass a note between them, but they split up and she lost them in the back alleys. Could be a love poem or a recipe for Kwama cream cocktail, but we suspect it's the way Vea has been keeping tabs on what's been happening in the city. Look, it may amount to nothing, but the note could give us a lead on where to find Vea.
I'll apologize now for what happens later. Come, drink up. Forget your troubles.
House Halalu, wonderful folk and fair and honest merchants to the last. House Red.
a drink with me?
Well done. This should help us determine what happened to Vea's brother.
I love seeing new faces. For a while, it was just the same old miners and the occasional travelling merchant. Thought Caroline might have to shut this place down. Look at me talking your ears off. What can I get you? At first, I assumed it was the usual house squabbles. Redoran and Hlalu arguments can get pretty heated. Then I thought maybe the Ashlanders were scaring people off. But after that proclamation... No, I'd rather not talk about that with a stranger. I like the colour of your gold, Outlander. Just between us, I heard the House Guard shut down the Shulk ore mine. Something to do with violent cultists who attacked the miners and took over the place. Even got the crew chief, or so I heard.
Hello, can I help you? Wait a moment. You're one of those hirelings House Redoran pays to harass us simple folk. Look, all Vea wants to do is to find out what happened to her brother. Too bad the house doesn't seem to care a swit about any of that. Vea wants nothing to do with the house or her father. Why can't any of you respect that? Even if I wanted to help, I haven't seen Vea since she snuck out of town. We communicate by notes. And this one isn't even about her. Well, if you must know, it concerns Vea's brother. He was an officer in the House Guard before he vanished without a trace. We've been trying to help Vea find him. A local tough, goes by the name of Ashur. He delivers the letters. We usually meet him outside of town to the northeast. But good luck trying to get any information out of him. Ashur is not known for his conversational skills. I think we're done here, don't you? I told you where to find Ashur. He's been passing our notes on to Vea. Just to the north and east, outside of town. Or is this your way of offering to save me a trip, since you're headed his way? I'm not telling you anything, you Redoran lapdog.